Did you guys ever have fish?
Yeah.
I ate fish.
Really?
Here's the thing about fish.
Yeah.
You can't. I didn't realize this, so I had tropical fish, a little mako shark fish, which aren't really sharks, I don't think. And then I put a goldfish in there.
Oh, no.
And you can't mix tropical fish and goldfish, is what I found out. Because I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, this is fine. This big guy's hanging out with these little guys.
Yeah.
And then one guy go, where's that little guy? Where's my little mako shark fish?
Oh, no.
And he was gone. I guess he was hiding. And then the next day, I saw the goldfish dead, threw up the other fish because it ate it.
Wait, the goldfish ate the other fish?
Yeah, the
Wow.
goldfish ate the other fish and
They
then
ate the
died.
bigger fish?
Yeah.
Wow, you
And
never
then they
hear that
both
story.
died.
They both died. They died doing what they loved, being thrown up.
The goldfish was so afraid of being eaten that he just had to eat the
He
bigger
struck
Well, why do
fish.
you think a goldfish is prey?
Because it's small. I just figured the smaller fish gets eaten by the bigger fish.
The only people you've ever seen eat a goldfish are frat boys.
Yeah, Steve-O.
Steve-O ate a
Steve-O?
He ate a goldfish.
What are the fish that kill each other if you put them in there that like fight?
The Japanese fighting fish.
No, it's like
No, Joe's right. Japanese fighting fish.
okay. Well, I had 2 Japanese fighting fish in my dorm in
Whoa,
college.
you can't say that.
We put money on it.
Whoa,
It was
really?
stupid. Afterwards, I
Yeah.
thought, well, that was dumb. We
Yeah,
shouldn't-
that's mean. That's
yeah,
Yeah, that's
mean-spirited.
good.
It was pretty cool to
mean-spirited.
watch.
But then he
though.
did dog fighting. and he
right.
got it. It clicked.
that's all right. But
That fight, whole fight, neither of them shed.
Well, blood.
yeah, bloodshed.
There was bloodshed, but not a single piece of hair on the ground.
Cleaning up blood way easier than sweeping.
That's what you're telling the dog
quick
salesman.
vacuum. I like getting on my hands and knees with a rag and some Mr. Clean
Yeah.
detergent. I don't know what you use.
No, you're right.
You use probably Mr. Clean, yeah, for blood.
What's the stuff they do the cover of evidence? You spray something with something
I believe
and then
chalk.
Lie?
I believe outlining.
lie. Okay, I
Lie.
don't know. Cereal.
Oh, boy.
Something with chalk, outlining body in chalk. That helps.
No, you don't outline. If anything, that helps the people figure it out.
Right.
Here's
No, I'm pretty sure it's lie. L-Y-E. Dissolves a body.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were just talking about lying.
But if you, I'm
No.
saying like if you have blood and you spray the blood, then when they check the blood, it's like got this other thing in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen the thing. They get blood and like I can't clean this blood spot, but if I spray it with maybe bleach, when they go to check the blood, they're like, "Oh, this is just bleach."
this is just bright red bleach.
I know it looks like
do
blood.
anything with
weird.
it.
It's right next to a cracked skull, but we checked it.
Let me
It's not
check
blood.
that. Let me check that.
It's chemically it's bleach.
Let me check
So,
that skull.
we
The
have
skull's
nothing-
bleach.
So,
There's no dead woman here at all.
Our work here is done. It's bright red bleach, and that's the only thing we can do.
Whoever did this crime, whoever did this was good. They were good. They did the bleach trick. They did the bleach trick. Now we've got no lead.
You can't cover your tracks. This is just bleach.
We can't prove that this blood is from that dead woman.
Yeah. So if you ever
There's
want to
really
kill
no way
somebody,
of knowing. So.
if she even is my wife.
Oh, the old ball and chain. Well, anyway, Joe, would you like to tell us,
Joe
in?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Thank
Would you like to tell us what this is? What you've been listening to for 5 minutes?
Well,
Oh, I feel
and this
it.
is our friend. Should we tell them about our friend Joe Bates here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 Joes today on the Echo Chamber podcast with Joe and Trent and Joe.
Echo Chamber podcast with Joe and Trent and Joe.
And Joe. Joe Bates. Funny,
Bates.
Funny comedian right here.
Yes.
Friend of the show. Welcome anytime. Here he is today.
Welcome anytime.
Will be joining us on the only
joining us?
podcast
On the
where
only
2 comedians,
podcast where two
sometimes we shut up.
comedians,
Stop talking.
I'm just echoing.
We got it. We got it.
We got it.
You get
2
it?
comedians, sometimes 3, read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free from work.
I hated that.
Hey, well, we'll give
Honestly, no, I liked it. I just felt uncomfortable.
We'll give you a
Oh, you
rundown.
got clips over there. Okay.
We'll give you a rundown of the stories we'll be covering today, Joe
Okay.
Bates.
Bates.
No, I'm just Joe.
You're just Joe.
Okay, Joe.
Well,
Thank you,
Joe,
Yeah.
and Joe in.
Can't believe I've been reduced to Joe in on my own podcast. Not even the main Joe.
Joe and Joe and.
Sucks.
So funny.
We'll be covering a museum that displays body parts. They're under fire for displaying body parts.
I mean, you're selling this one.
Did they try the bleach trick?
Covered in bleach.
That would be an easy way out.
This isn't Jade.
Well, speaking of dogs, we're also going to hear about the president of Argentina and his cloned dogs.
Nice.
Maybe that's an option for us, Trent. We can clone a dog.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm
You
down.
want my dog?
Yeah, if we clone one.
Yeah, I'll give you a clone,
it,
Wally.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Well,
Big
I
Wally.
covered that one.
Yeah. And we'll also be covering a story involving an Amish person dying in a car accident.
Whoa.
And I don't want to reveal too much because it's a wild story.
Well, they can't be in a car. They're Amish.
Well, they could
asking-
be.
they're on the road.
It
They're
could
on
be
the road.
Rumspringa.
Is it his buggy? Yeah, it's
Yes.
his buggy.
Oh, they
It
could
was
be,
not Rumspringa.
Oh, okay, but Rumspringa, you can drive a car.
And lastly, we are going to hear about another riveting tale of a Ukraine teenager transformed into a Russian propaganda star.
I don't know
A
about this
Ukraine
one. That
TikToker turned Russian TikToker.
Wow, you
feels
think you know
like-
somebody.
feels like there should be an alternate story here, but no, we'll be all
No,
right.
it's fun. It's a fun story.
Well, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
The
Oh,
Wall
really?
Street
Yes.
Journal.
WSJ.
The WSJ.
The social justice warrior, but a little bit different.
Yeah, but the kind of opposite.
Headline. Headline. Muter Museum exhibits show... I'm sorry.
Man, I gotta be honest. I know I'm like a big deal, but you don't have to be this nervous reading in front of me. All right, I know I'm an expert reader.
Reading is pretty hard.
Muter Museum exhibits show guts, including the megacolon.
Oh,
New donors rattled by changes afoot at the not-for-squeamish Medical Museum.
My God.
Dateline Philadelphia.
Dateline, Philadelphia.
In philanthropy,
Born and raised.
there's a rare group of people willing to give more of themselves. At the Muter Museum, that includes skulls, limbs, and gallstones.
are those the three things?
Just two of those were stones.
We don't want feet.
The Medical Museum has been shining a light on the inner workings of mankind for 160 years.
Oh.
Glass cases display human skeletons and preserved organs, including an oversized colon of a man who died from constipation caused by a congenital disease. There is also part of a tumor removed
after
from
my own
President
heart.
Grover Cleveland's jawbone in 1893.
Oh yeah, but then they got rid of it, but then they brought it back.
Oh, very smart, Joe.
Oh, yeah. They might do the same with Trump soon. It's going to be the next Grover.
Oh God,
We want Grover back.
Grover Cleveland, the best Cleveland.
I love how
He's
the
the
whole
second
country...
best Grover.
Yeah, well, Grover, you lived in a trash can.
Yeah.
No.
I love how at one point in the country, the whole country was like, we want Grover back.
Give us Grover.
He's back.
I can't believe it. We did it. Cleveland rocks.
Quote, not for the squeamish, declares one of the Muter's more than 800 Yelp reviews, perhaps referring to the severed hand or the 17-inch wide ovarian cyst.
Or
The
the
gift shop sells
colon.
plush toy versions of the megacolon, as well as E. coli, chlamydia, and
That's-
flesh-eating virus.
The people buying the plush
Wait.
colon are not using it for the things they want them to use it for.
Wait. What did you say right after the colon? They also sell
They
chlamydia?
sell
Semicolon.
E. coli, chlamydia, and flesh-eating virus. Those are plush toys.
Oh,
Plush
plush
toys,
toys.
yeah,
I thought they just had a capsule
No,
of
they're
chlamydia.
not like, do you hate your neighbors?
Chlamydia?
You may die too.
But none of those sound like fun things to have in the house.
This sounds like advertising it used 160 years ago when people thought it was interesting. Nowadays, like, yeah, fine, I saw a dead guy the other day.
yeah, right.
I don't care.
Look at this stuff online every day, 24 hours a day.
While I sip my coffee, nom 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 nom.
Yeah, back in the day, they're like, let's go see the gallbladder in the Muter Museum.
Welcome to E-Bomb's world.
Now, why is it called the Muter Museum? What does that mean?
I think
That's gotta
that's
be the
like
guy's
probably
name.
the name of the founder,
John Muter.
Grover.
Grover Muter.
Yeah.
Grover Muter damn near killed her.
Did he mute all of his victims? Is that why
Okay,
he's-
what the hell?
yeah,
He's
come
not the
I'm asked to leave. Sorry,
Joe in, that's your first word.
I'm already in strike zone. Fuck.
Well, Barbara Kotzen, a 74-year-old retired speech pathologist, bullshit job, in Cheltenham.
It just gets to the age. If he was younger, it would be a good job.
Yeah.
She decided more than 20 years ago to donate her skeleton to the museum.
You can have my skeleton.
Don't kill me. Why
Well-
are you killing me right now? We need that skeleton. It's going to sell big.
Well, she had surgery to correct her scoliosis, the abnormal curvature of the spine, and wanted others to see the life-changing work after she died.
So the skeleton's just a normal spine.
I guess so, yeah. She had
He can get
surgery.
them ready for
Yeah.
See, correct. Look,
Looks normal.
it's as good as anybody.
This is an average spine.
You'd never know it. It used to look crazy.
It used to look like complete dog
It
shit.
was like a cursive S.
It used to look wild, but I fixed it for the museum.
The lady was upside down.
Well, Kotzen set aside money in her will to cover the cost of excarnation, removing flesh from bones,
Excarnation.
by an Oklahoma City
like that
company
name.
called Skulls Unlimited.
Why? How is
It's limited.
You don't need to have a cool name.
Skulls Unlimited, a limited liability.
It's a 7 billion skulls.
Yeah, it is limited. There's a certain number of skulls.
They can't. It's not unlimited. They can't. I mean, I guess they could make more.
They could, I guess. I always thought
terrible life for that child.
I always thought any kind of medical anomaly is fascinating, she said. Kotzen was first captivated by the museum's so-called soap lady, the remains of a woman whose skeleton is covered by a waxy substance resulting from decomposed tissue.
Is this a prominent museum? Like, is this like this is like the museum you have to go to in Philadelphia?
I don't know, but we're going to Philadelphia in a month, so maybe
We're
we'll
gonna
check
see
it
some
out.
Skulls getting cracked.
So why are they under hot water?
Well, because let's see here. Let me
Training.
find it.
What? God damn it. Strike one.
For strike two for Joe in.
Kotzen,
No.
What?
Can't just strike me.
Kotzen and others are willing to put themselves out there, facing a new obstacle beyond mortality. The Muter has paused donations until it completes a new human remains policy and an audit of its specimens, part of a broader reflection in the museum world regarding human remains.
The museum world.
Well, that's from the bodies exhibit was a big deal. So you know the
Explain.
bodies exhibit in Las Vegas?
No.
They go in there and it's just human bodies, like they're like formaldehyde. You see their muscles and you can see their organs and stuff. I went in this thing because my buddy wanted to go. I hated it.
Yeah.
And it was all like Filipino prisoners. And they just like all their dead bodies they had no right to, so the bodies exhibit like bought them all and
Yeah.
like formed them in different things to show like the muscles and how they work when they're like playing basketball or doing various things.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing I ever saw in my life, you go in, there's a jar of fetuses, and there was a jar of Siamese fetuses connected to the head.
Ugh.
And I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah, that's gross.
Who wants this?
That's no good.
It's miserable. My
Yeah.
friend liked it.
How big were the feet? It was like, could you put it like next
In
to
a
a jar? Of
It was
jam?
like an enlarged mason jar.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
I would buy one.
Yeah. In between like a mason jar and a thing full of cheese puffs.
Okay, got it.
In between those
I've got the
sizes.
size. I've got the size.
Say no more.
Okay.
Say no
You
more.
got it.
Well, it's going to be a
already
bad podcast.
Yeah. Well, the concern is about exhibiting body parts obtained without consent of the dead or their families before modern ethical standards were set. So that must have been the Filipinos.
Yeah.
They found these guys.
Yeah, they found him 100 years
Thinking
ago.
we should make them play basketball.
That's ethical.
Yeah. But
Oh, what? They had like a pregnant lady there too? It's a terrible thing.
It's a pregnant lady. Yeah.
She's not pregnant anymore.
Well, I mean, she is
I-
forever.
Forever pregnant.
I went to a freak show. We had a freak show.
Jesus Christ.
at the Johnson County Fair. They
There's a
had-
bunch of dead people. They're just throwing dead people in the cannons. Freak show!
Hell yeah. Love the freak show.
no, but
You went to a freak show? It's not a circus. It's a freak show.
Well, they had, it was at the Johnson County Fair. They had like a tent that was like a freak
Right.
show, and they had a carnival barker who was saying, freak show, come in. You
gotta see the freaks.
Yeah, 1 Lincoln for the freak show, they say. And then so I get
Penny?
I go, that's what I said, a penny. They go, no, a 5, you dummy.
You dummy.
So I go in.
yourself, aren't you? Get in there.
It looks like you stayed in the tent for a while.
So I go in, and they had
the
a bunch
can.
of fetuses and stuff in jars. About the size of, bigger than a mason jar, but not as big as
It's a cheese puff.
cheese puff
Yeah,
thing.
I can visualize
Yeah. So, but they also had a thing called a jackalope.
Oh,
Which is like a rabbit
This is
with
a
a
classic
horn.
classic freak show thing. Is the jackalope?
Yeah, the jackalope.
What's a jackalope? It's like a cantaloupe and a
Oh, have you
jackalope.
ever watched America's Funniest Home Videos with Bob Saget?
I did 26 years ago.
The jackalope was getting into all sorts of trouble.
Well, it's kind of like a rabbit with
With deer
antlers.
horns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway,
Antlers. I said deer horns.
yeah,
Deer horns is wild. Deers are often hunted for their horns.
So anyway, the sign said the jackalope has been spotted in all 50 states and also Arkansas.
That's a good joke. I see what they did there.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So anyway, that's
Was there a
gonna-
bearded lady there, Trent?
There's no bearded lady. There was a tiny lady, Indian lady.
She was walking around? Or she was in a mason? Or she was in a jar?
She was in like a fenced-in area.
That's terrible.
They fenced her in?
Yeah, but it wasn't a big fence.
But she wasn't in a
really
jar.
tiny.
There was a mustache lady there. It was my aunt.
Joe Bates, everybody.
So Kotzen, that's the lady who wants to give her normal-looking spine to the museum.
Take my spine.
It's fixed.
She's now
please stop calling
considering.
her.
She
When it comes back, when the scoliosis is back, we'll take that slide.
She's now considering her donor options. A friend told her about a medical museum in Germany that might take her skeleton. Quote, I was kind of hoping to stay in the United States,
Just
Kotzen
die.
said.
You don't need to give it to anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing, is just die.
Just die and shut up.
Yeah.
I'm okay with giving your skeleton to something. That's
But-
fine.
But if you have to work that hard for it,
if you it sounds like she thinks she is an asset.
Right.
Yeah,
she wants to
exactly.
be shown off.
Yeah, she seems like people. I'm
you blame
going
her?
to the highest bidder.
She has the perfect spine.
She's got an agent.
She
He's
goes-
out there hustling.
she goes, I know what I got, and I want to flaunt it.
And I don't want to be in fucking Germany. I want to
Yeah.
be in the goddamn US of A.
Quite frankly, I'm not ready to compromise. I know what I got. I'm going to fucking rock it.
I'll visit your museum, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be in it.
Well, Kate Quinn, executive director of the Muter, said the museum hasn't ruled out displaying Kotzen's spine or any other person that wants to display their vital organs.
I love this museum
why
getting
would
a
you
call from a journalist who's like, "Are you going to take this lady's spine or what?"
They're like, oh, yeah, the old lady calls every day, and then suddenly the Wall Street Journal is calling, are you going to take the spine? Jesus Christ, we're thinking about it.
It's a normal
Fucking
spine.
old bag, shut the fuck up.
Well, they have to complete an audit, a museum audit, and a new human remains policy could take another 18 months, according to museum officials. The museum said it planned to discuss Kotzen's donation with her. In the past years, the Muter held Halloween celebrations and annual...
What a disrespectful thing for the human remains that you're doing a Halloween celebration. Isn't this dead person spooky? And the person's like, I had a job.
an annual holiday market and art classes for people to sketch specimens. Among the museum's whimsical displays is a sign left from the pandemic era asking visitors to stay 6 feet or about 1 megacolon apart.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
under-
megacolon 6 feet?
Yeah.
A megacolon is as tall as me.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's wild.
Well, I'm a little taller. I'm actually 6'3".
All right, we
But,
got it. We got it.
It's as tall as Trent. Trent, you're 6 feet, right?
Yeah. No, I'm 5'11".
Tell me this.
Wow.
You think, why aren't these people, they should be grandfathered in? 165 years. I think you get a pass at the new regulations.
You think so?
I would say, sorry, we're grandfathered in. We can do whatever the fuck we
That's
want.
what the British say about their jewels that they stole from other
But
countries.
that is true.
They grandfathered in.
Grandfathered.
My grandfather.
I agree, Joe, because if my relative was in this museum and they were like, "Hey, we have your grandfather's,"
You gotta pay for this. You gotta pay for a new grave.
No, but they want to send it back to you. I go, I don't want that.
Yeah.
No, you take it. You keep it. This is. I don't
Are
want.
they going to return
I'll sign any form.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to not have
Right.
it back?
But the thing is, do you think they're like, oh, you can't use these remains because they were unlawfully got, and they're like, fuck, throw it in the dumpster.
Right.
Yeah,
what are they
do
going
with
to do?
them?
Yeah.
Why not display them?
I don't know.
Dip, dip out the fetus jar.
Here's what I'm
into the
saying.
sink.
If I die and you get your hands on my body and put it in your museum, my hat goes off to you.
Right.
You did the work to grave rob me.
This guy actually had a great spine.
Well, after the surgery, it's-
Under Quinn, who became executive director in 2022, the museum has halted some of its activities, including the Halloween party.
That's a good idea.
Quote, the world has changed, Quinn said. Every institution is looking at their past practices in light of social justice reckoning, in light of colonialism. The American Natural History Museum in New York said in October that it would remove human remains from view.
are they still doing their Columbus Day celebration?
Indigenous Columbus.
Come see an engine. The body of an engine. The fierce Apache warrior.
What do you mean we gotta get rid of it?
The new CEO's like, so I don't love this.
I don't love that we built animatronics into this dead body. How?
Oh, on the West Frontier.
Lewis and Clark are pretty cool people.
Well, we've got a story of a guy who could probably donate a couple of his things to this museum.
Oh.
Would you want your body in a museum?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I think like there's an idea of it that's like sounds good, but it's not going to be what you want.
What do you mean?
Like it sounds like, oh cool, I'm in prosperity that everybody can see, like this lady thinks, but you end up being a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
People take funny pictures with you.
Yeah.
they mount a witch on a broom next to you while your cold flaccid cock is just hanging there.
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, no, whatever. Why is that what you think is being shown?
They make you play basketball and you're shooting granny style.
That's the short guys.
With their head over here. Well, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Headline: Argentina's new president loves his cloned dogs. People less so. This guy.
Who can blame him?
Yeah, he's sort of a fucking sassy bitch. Dateline, Buenos Aires. A few years ago, Argentina's up-and-coming political rabble rouser, Javier Milei. Good. I'm off to a rocket.
How do you say rabble rouser in Spanish?
I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try.
That's like a direct translation this guy made. The rabble rouser.
That's true.
Javier Milei didn't hesitate when asked on television whether he liked people or dogs more. Dogs, Milei said. Now president.
Well, dogs make up 60% of the voting base.
Now president, the self-described anarcho-capitalist waited a month to move into the Olivios presidential residence as he built kennels for his four-legged children, as he calls the 5 cloned English Mastiffs.
Wow.
4 named after free market economists. For his December inauguration, he broke with tradition by having images of the 200-pound dogs carved into his silver and gold presidential baton. And when a bus driver recently ran over a dog in the working-class outskirts of Buenos Aires, Milei ordered his justice minister to find the man.
Oh, my God.
An excellent job, he said on X, formerly known as Twitter, after the driver was detained the next day. A guy hit a dog and they had him put into the fucking death camp. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Also, he looks like Jack White.
I don't know why I thought they put the dog in the death camp, but you're saying the guy that hit
the dog got hit by a bus, and they arrested the bus driver.
They arrested the bus driver, and they shot him in the head. Wow. Yeah.
Have you guys ever hit an animal with your car?
It's a living.
Have you guys ever hit an animal with your car?
I was trying to get these deer horns, so I smashed right into a deer one time to harvest the horns. They're worth a fortune. No,
The ivory in the deer horns
Yeah.
is too much to pass up on.
they're actually made of wood, I believe.
This deer's got a lot of branches.
Really valuable wood. It's like red oak. But Malay's canine infatuation has raised eyebrows as people try to figure out what makes the fiery political outsider tick. As he
Killing dogs.
No, he hates these.
Yeah, what makes
he's
him tick?
anti-killing dogs.
Anti-killing dogs.
well,
that's what makes him tick.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
You never heard of the word tick before? You rabble rouser?
You know who's got some ticks? Probably his dog.
and deer horns.
All right. It's weird, said David Gonzalez, a 29-year-old in Buenos Aires. Quote, I treat my dogs well, but they sleep outside. They aren't people.
Treat my dogs good.
Malay's dogs are a prickly topic. He appeared irritated when asked by the Journal how he plans to tend to 5 dogs that weigh as much as miniature horses while trying to fix Argentina's worst economic crisis in a generation. Quote,
I love comparing things to other things that don't make any sense.
I know.
This
Yeah.
dog
That
is the
a
size
shitty
of a
question.
miniature horse and a couch.
Just say it's a large dog.
Also,
Say the weight of the dog.
Yeah.
Don't make me look up what the size of miniature horses are.
well, it's called colorful writing. So, and I think they did a great job.
Just some more
So they asked him
rabble.
how he plans to fix the economy
Yeah.
while taking care of his 5 horse-like dogs.
Right.
Well, they're economists. They can just ask them.
And he says, what's that got to do with anything?
Spit on me. What's that guy?
What's the problem with taking care of my dogs? He said, what's the problem with taking care of my dogs?
Yeah.
He got really irritated.
This is
Yeah.
some colorful reading.
Yeah, colorful reading.
Malay's first dog was an English Mastiff named for Conan the Barbarian. The love of my life, he once said. Malay, a 53-year-old man who has never married or had children of his own, used to spend Christmas and New Year's alone with Conan before sipping champagne, according to a popular biography.
Oh my god, he fucked that
he
dog.
fucks his
He
dogs.
definitely fucked that
He
dog.
definitely fucks his dog.
That's not good. That's not what I wanted a
The
president.
president of Argentina's fucking his dogs, and he can't get enough, so he
He
cloned him.
cloned him.
He cloned him.
Was the dog? Well, that way it takes away the dog's trauma, but still has the dog's body.
That's true.
Yeah. If only I could just take all of its baggage out.
He could if
terrible
only I
thing.
could re-traumatize this other dog.
One time, I'll tell you. Can I tell you a story? Quick story.
How long is it?
It's a quick story. Trent knows the story. One time I was outside at an open mic and hanging out with these guys. And this one guy who was trying to figure out social media. So anytime someone with a dog walked by, he asked the owner to take a picture of him with their dogs. He's like, he had this whole thing about dogs. It's
Okay.
like dogs.
Yeah, he was trying to be the dog.
Trying to be the dog comic, right? So he's like doing this, and we're outside, and people are smoking and just waiting, and he does this like 4 times in a row, and I'm just like getting more and more annoyed.
Yeah,
I'm
that would
not
piss me off, too.
liking this. So the 4th guy comes, he gives the phone to the guy, you want to take a picture, and I go, "Hey, guy, you know he fucks dogs." And then that rumor just spread.
This guy fucks dogs.
The guy took his dog back and like scooted away from him.
You honestly deserve that if you're a comic trying to make your thing the dog guy.
He was a dog guy and he ran a dog show where
Yeah.
dogs could come. And then he-
Well, the dogs don't come.
one guy does. One guy comes.
I heard his girlfriend's a bit of a dog, too.
Well, they're divorced.
Well, the dog's 2017 death, this is Conan the dog, traumatized Malay, said Gonzalez. He decided to clone Conan at a U.S. laboratory. The procedure cost about $50,000.
Jeez.
Malay later claimed to spiritually communicate with the animal, telling
This
friends...
is still the president
This is
of
the
the country.
president of Argentina, the current sitting president of Argentina. He claimed to spiritually communicate with the animal, telling friends they first met in another life 2,000 years ago in a Roman Colosseum when he was a gladiator and the dog was a lion.
Wow.
What are they, fair elections? Or are they like, I don't want to bother this guy. You just get to be in charge.
Well, if you hit a dog, you get locked up. So how do you
You tell me.
you tell me how you think it's operated?
I'll tell you what, living in that country's got to be rough.
4 of his
the
current
dog.
clone dogs are named after economists. Milton for Milton Friedman, Robert and Lucas for Robert
And Lucas.
and Murray. Yeah, it did say that. Robert and Lucas for Robert Lucas, and Murray for Murray Rothbard.
Yeah, we're all
5th is
familiar.
named- yeah. Awesome, man. That's cool.
No Adam Smith.
Some of
No
my
Alexander
favorite-
Hamilton. He's got to get some more dogs.
They're all clones of Conan. He has 5 Conans named after economists.
Wow.
And he fucks
Wait,
We
them all.
didn't go with the barbarian.
See,
the
so
more
wait, they're
barbarian.
all named Conan and another one?
No, the original one was named Conan, and then the 4 clones are named after economists.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
yeah,
You know,
obviously. I mean,
Conan and clone have a lot of the same letters.
A few.
That's interesting. Might be something here. You might be able to crack this thing.
Did they mention that in the article?
Are they colorful with it?
So yeah, that's pretty much it. He fucks his dogs. He's got clones of them. He's locking people up.
Wow.
I can't imagine being in a country where the guy's like, my clone dogs are more important to you. I guess I get to decide what your life is like. That's not great.
You can't imagine having a president who had other priorities besides the people.
No, never had one in my lifetime.
can't
It's
fathom
crazy
it,
that
really.
every 4 years we elect the perfect guy for the job.
No matter the size of their hands, he is perfect.
Perfect. We always knock it out of the park.
yeah. I like the sleepy one the best.
He's my favorite too.
But I would hate to play poker with those economist dogs. They'd run you under the table.
They've all got the same poker face too.
That's true.
Well, they know each other's
They're very
tells.
hard to read. Yeah.
I shouldn't exist.
Existence is
I'm
pain.
an affront to God.
Well, well, speaking of 2 people who maybe shouldn't exist, this is from
From right here.
the Wall Street Journal. No, not you. Not my 2 favorite Joes, Joe and Joanne.
I don't know how Joe Nami would feel about that, but
That's well, he's Joe and too.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
right.
had him on the podcast, you'd be Joe and you.
Joe and me, Joe and you. Joe
Well,
and me.
This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, the Wall Street Journal.
Headline: Twins are accused of identity swap in deadly crash.
What?
After the crash?
What's that?
Did they hit a deer?
Explain more. I'm just guessing too much at this point.
We'll get into it.
Well, I want to know more.
Well, is there more? That's the point of the podcast, to tell you more.
I hope this writing is as colorful as the last article.
They always
It's
are.
not.
These 2 rabble-rouser twins.
Dateline, Spring Valley, Minnesota. A dead horse and crash debris were still strewn along a country road when a woman in a black jacket approached a sheriff's deputy and said she had been driving the sport utility vehicle that struck an Amish buggy.
My God.
You can just say SUV.
Sports utility vehicle.
No one says it like that.
Well, sometimes they need to fill the page.
Yeah. They go, hey, take SUV. Spell that out.
Yeah.
I like that this twin swapping for a deadly crash is not enough.
Sarah Peterson, a 35-year-old worker at a Hy-Vee grocery, told the deputy she hadn't seen the horse-drawn buggy before hitting it that morning of September 25th, killing 2 Amish children and
Jesus.
seriously injuring 2 others.
Well, did the Amish children have their seatbelts on?
Deputies took a
they had
statement.
their deal with God settled. That was good. That's all they needed.
Deputies
Seatbelt.
took her statement but grew suspicious. Peterson matched the witness description of the driver as a blonde woman, but wasn't she supposed to be wearing a red and black Hy-Vee shirt? And why was a second similar looking blonde woman spotted at the crash site?
Wait, what?
What's the benefit of switching here?
Well, I'll tell you. We'll get to that in just a second.
There's more to this story.
A deputy had turned on his digital recorder and left it running in the cab of his truck. What investigators ultimately concluded shocked people in this corner of southeastern Minnesota.
Get ready to be shocked.
An area of, hold on to your seats, an area of rolling farmland marked by the bluffs of the Mississippi River. The
bluffs.
beautiful Mississippi.
Beautiful Mississippi.
and the city of
Biggest
Rochester.
river in the country.
And the city of Rochester, home of the Mayo Clinic.
I've been there.
You've been to the Mayo Clinic.
I've been to Rochester. I did a show where the comedy club owner kept telling me how much he hated running a show.
That's always fun.
Oh, that's great. Am I getting paid?
Wow. Officials filed felony charges
That's the problem.
this month against Sarah Peterson and her identical twin sister Samantha. Authorities allege the sisters hatched a plot to switch places and pretend Sarah had been driving during the deadly crash to spare Samantha, who was high on methamphetamine from prison.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I get the switch.
Yeah, that's the switch. Both sisters could now face years behind bars on charges including for Samantha, vehicular manslaughter under the influence and fleeing the scene, and for Sarah, falsely taking responsibility for the deaths.
Here's a question. That is weird. Why would you give her years? But if you go to the jail with your siblings,
Yeah.
you don't know what that is like.
No, couldn't imagine it.
You have siblings, right?
Yeah.
So you go to jail with your sibling. Do you think they let you room together?
I doubt it.
That'd be cool.
I think I like go to jail.
But they're twins. They could switch out of like of guard duty or whatever.
And they're wearing the same clothes, too, so it'd make it harder. They're just telling apart.
Yeah.
I really like digging ditches. Oh, I really like cooking.
So they're in all
I'll
this
just always
trouble.
do that.
They're in all this trouble for hitting these people. But is there no penalty for just having a horse-drawn carriage in the highway?
Well, it's not illegal to be Amish, Joe, as much as you want it to be.
I really want it to be.
I know you've introduced legislation to make it illegal to be Amish.
Enough is
This is kind of a free country. We live in a free country.
We
People
have
can
a
be Amish
feeling
if they
you've
want.
been being Amish lately.
Well, neither sister responded to calls and messages over social media seeking comment. Authorities have yet to learn whether the twins who have been charged but not arrested have attorneys. Angie
I'm
Leanne.
guessing not. I'm guessing the meth addict.
Yeah.
They have one, but
me
it's
call
a
my
blonde
counsel.
woman.
She goes, Your Honor, my sister's clients.
Wait, what are you doing? How does this help anything?
Your Honor, I am also on meth. I'm going to be honest.
Angie
Your Honor,
Leanne.
could you put 3 cups on us and then shuffle us around and then take whichever one?
But try to remember which one is the one.
Are you going to get the one on meth? I don't know.
Angie Leanne Tuffley, who said she knew the Petersons through mutual friends, called them fun to party with.
That's cool.
Yeah, they do sound fun to party with.
What
That's
a
cool.
great quote.
Quote, they were always really
Wall Street
close.
Journal.
They were, quote, they were always really close and they always had each other's backs.
Well, that is true. I'll tell you
It
what.
certainly sounds like
Would
it.
you, if your brother,
No.
God forbid,
Not even close.
Yeah.
killed an Amish family?
If he was out of prison on methamphetamines,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, he's a lost one.
Yeah, he's a lost cause.
We had a good time. See, we had fun parties.
Even if I get him out of this one, he's just going to do something
Right.
similar
He
in like
didn't
2
learn
months.
his lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah, gonna learn his
and then I'm gonna be rooming with him, and he's gonna be like, "Why didn't you take the fall for me?"
Yeah.
Dude, you got to help me out. I fucked up big. Bro. Bro, you got to help me out.
We don't look at all
So I'm
alike.
cooking, right? Me and D-Town, we're cooking, right? And I get in the car, I'm going like so fast. It's fucking bucket.
Yeah.
I thought it was in a video game, so I just went right through it.
And it was this Amish guy. And you know how I hate the Amish.
I thought they were illegal.
So I figured I had the right to hit him.
yeah. I'm Joe's brother. I'm in the mob.
Both sisters have had multiple arrests. Records show, including 2 DWI
Well, that's a
convictions for Samantha, 1 for alcohol and 1 for controlled substance. Sarah was convicted in January 2022 on a federal charge of conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance and is currently on parole.
I really think the bigger problem is the controlled substance. It's the out of control car.
Yeah. Sarah was convicted of giving law enforcement her sister's name
Blowjobs.
in 2017, so they've done this before.
They've done it before.
And
Yeah.
it failed.
And failed, and giving a false name earlier that same year, according to court records. Samantha was convicted of giving a false. Samantha was convicted of giving a false name in 2007.
So they're both giving false names.
Yeah. So this is like the 3rd time.
Why do they always swap? I mean, it seems like they're both getting arrested
Well,
enough.
yeah,
Just take your own.
Neither one is a model citizen.
Here's what I'll say though.
How does that help me if I'm Samantha now?
Right. Yeah.
For every time they've been caught, they must have been successful. like 10 more times.
By the looks of it, I don't.
That's true. Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think they have.
No.
Yeah, I'll be you this time. No.
Who's gonna be me? But I have to be me. I'm already being you.
I'll be everybody. Yeah.
You be me. I'll be me. Fuck. Wait, no.
You be me. I'll be.
What was that? It sounded like a horse. All right, I'll be the horse. You be the police. Fuck. Where's the meth?
Wow. Was that a wooden wheel flying 50 feet? At the
Craftsmanship.
At the time of the crash, the sisters worked at the same Hy-Vee store in Rochester, so they had the same job.
Yeah, you know that they were like...
Yeah, and lived together in an apartment in Spring Valley, population 2,500, according to the criminal complaint. On the day of the crash, the first witness on the scene told investigators he saw a woman on the phone with 911 and later described the driver as a blonde woman in a Hy-Vee shirt. A second witness told investigators he saw a woman flailing her arms and yelling into her phone, then saw a second woman arrive and hug the first. He said they look similar. She's like, you gotta get over here and tell him you're Samantha.
For what did you do? You find that out later.
Do you think,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
you think when she calls her sister, the sister answers and is like, let me guess. I'm
Or
Samantha
the old-
today.
We're doing the old.
switcheroo.
You know what's interesting? They didn't call and interview any Amish people about this.
That's interesting.
Also, were the Amish people on meth?
No, the Amish people, they're fine model
no,
citizens.
no,
As much as you wanted them to be.
Only
They were on
natural.
milk. Fresh milk.
Die doing what they love, drinking the nice milk.
Nice
I was
warm
gonna say
milk.
nice glass of milk, but I guess they do glass.
They
blowing.
they can't.
Why? They can make glass.
No,
Make glass, yeah.
It must be wood.
Wood cups.
Wood cups. Very hard to make round.
Later, when investigators reviewed the dash cam footage of the first deputy to arrive, the video showed two blonde women on the roadway. A short time
saying
later,
the same story like over and over and
That's
over.
what
again.
a lot of these do.
it
yeah.
showed
gotcha.
one of the women enter a vehicle in a Hy-Vee shirt and emerge in a black tank top. On the recording by the device left in the deputy's truck, Sarah can be heard telling Samantha, quote, "I think that one of the guys is onto me, but there's no way they would ever know the difference between the two of us."
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they have their names tattooed somewhere on their body.
Just to not get themselves confused.
The shirt is a glaring oversight.
What's Hy-Vee mean?
It's a grocery store.
Hy-Vees also
Oh,
are
gotcha,
great.
gotcha.
Do they have? You don't have them in
No.
Indiana?
No.
In Kansas City, love a Hy-Vee.
Really?
God, I love a Hy-Vee.
I like a high C fruit punch.
I love
Hy-Vee, there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
if they would have switched.
Nice.
If they would have switched shirts, the witness would have just mentioned that. I saw this other blonde woman come here. They switched shirts,
Which I thought was concerning and weird.
but they got the same rack.
I figured, okay, one of them's got to go do a shift at Hy-Vee.
They forgot their
But
uniform.
it's weird because the one who stayed wore the Hy-Vee shirt. The other one left.
Yeah, the cops have string.
Yeah.
Where does the Hy-Vee
It's
play?
someone to cover her
Meanwhile, there's
shift.
just
Why does she
a
stop?
burning wreckage of Amish
Yeah.
wagon and dead horse in front of them. It's just like
Imagine
a-
you get hit by a car and you're like crawling out of the wreckage and you just see a lady run up, and then the lady who hit you take her shirt off, give it to her, and then she leaves.
And you're like, you look slightly different.
I'm Amish.
That was their last words. I'm Amish.
The deputy took Sarah's phone and read her rights, thank God. The day after the crash, investigators went to the twins' apartment with a search warrant targeting Samantha. When they arrived, Sarah said Samantha wasn't there and had moved out. But they did find Samantha in the apartment.
He's like, wait a minute. They were talking to her.
Good liars.
When Sarah was...
Two of the worst liars I've ever heard.
I love them. Sarah's like, Samantha's not here, and you just hear Samantha in the background. Tell him I went for a long trip.
No, she goes, Samantha's not here, and then you hear from the background, hey, Samantha.
Have you seen my Hy-Vee shirt?
Why did you kill those Amish people?
I hung it up next to the meth.
They found Samantha in the apartment, then confiscated her cell phone and took her in for a blood test. The test showed that the presence of methamphetamine and other drugs. Data retrieved from her
should've done
cell
the
phone located in the bleach trick. Yeah.
Just drink bleach. They can't touch your
It's
blood
just
at
bleach.
all.
I don't know what it is. It's bleach.
Data from her cell phone
Woman's full of
located
bleach.
Samantha at the scene of the crash at 8:23 that morning and showed the original 911 call came from her phone. Samantha's internet search history included damning entries, according to the complaint. Quote, "What happens if you get in an accident with an Amish buggy and kill 2 people?"
What happens?
What happens if you get in an accident?
I'm interested.
Should I have my twin sister come and switch out? Should I switch out with Samantha?
Should we change into Ivy shirt?
That's the dumbest Google I've ever heard.
What happens if you get in
What do
an
you mean,
accident
what happens?
with an Amish buggy and kill 2 people?
She's like, Google, what will happen right now?
Yeah.
Next.
I have to go
what to do.
I have to go to Reddit.
Google help.
So she Googled that and how to lock an iPhone cops have.
Wait, what did you Google? How to...
Oh, how to lock your iPhone from cops.
not great.
Just break the phone. Just throw the phone away.
Well, the cops have it.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Do the magnet thing they do in Breaking
Bad, yeah.
There's meth,
There's meth.
and there's probably a magnet in Rochester, Minnesota.
There probably is a magnet.
I
at
don't
least
know
one.
how a CAT scan works, but that's probably just a big magnet.
Yeah.
I believe there's a cat involved.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
No, I like that one.
Well, you know who's in a bit of a predicament of their own.
The Ukraine.
This article is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
This is a riveting tale.
It's a big one.
It's a riveting tale. It's our last story. We saved the biggest tale for last.
Do you?
Yeah, we tried something like that. Not really. Not all the time. Headline, Wall Street Journal. Headline, Ukraine teen transformed into Russian propaganda star.
Oh, no.
That's
Star.
right. Star. When Russian troops invaded his hometown in 2022, do you remember that? Ukrainian teenager Denis Kostev filmed TikTok videos cursing Vladimir Putin and praising Ukrainian courage. A few months later, after he had been transferred against his will to Russian-held territory, he suddenly appeared in propaganda clips on Kremlin-controlled channels. In one, the athletic, dark-haired boy stood in camouflage adorned with Russian pro-war symbol and proclaimed that Putin would vanquish Ukraine.
So at no point, this person writing the headline wanted to say Russian propaganda prisoner.
He's a star.
He's a star.
This is a star right here.
Listen, you
just
know-
crying, help, help, help.
I've got a good eye for this, and when you see it, you know he's got it. He's got it.
Sounds like this guy has a gun to his head.
Well, he might.
Like a
Quote-
true star.
Quote, victory will be ours, he said, talking about Russia.
Wow.
Denny's apparent transformation from Ukrainian patriot to Russian flag waver looked like a triumph for Moscow. Here, it seemed, was living proof of Putin's contention that Ukrainians are Russians at heart and their descent is a correctable defect.
Wow.
I gotta say, at some point, like, people, they have to think Russia's bad, right?
Who? I don't think anyone's ever thought that. What do you have in mind?
I don't know.
That's a hot take.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I had a different thought, but I lost it mid-sentence.
I saw it slip. I saw the moment
Yeah.
the light left your eye.
Yeah, that
and it
was
slipped
two
away.
strikes.
Two strikes. Joe and I are on thin ice over here.
Trent, not one strike.
Yeah, he's throwing a no-hitter.
But he's in charge of the strikes and clone dogs.
Well, Denny's, then age 16, emerged as an ardent backer of Ukrainians' resistance. This is sort of before, so this is in the
Yeah.
beginning. Contacted by U.S. journalists. I got mixed up. Strike three. This is strike three.
Joe, you have to take over reading this article. You never read
Okay,
it.
here we go.
Russia.
In May, this is
Yeah.
May of 2022.
All right.
Sorry, Denny's launched a TikTok channel where he posted videos cursing Putin and asserting Ukraine's independence. In one clip, he told Russians that only death awaited them in Ukraine. Come, he said, We'll teach you some history.
Oh,
Yeah.
feisty.
In the fall, Dennis enrolled in a culinary college in the city and moved into the dormitory. Days after he arrived, the new Moscow-appointed college director interrupted class, flanked by armed Russian troops, according to Lisa Batsura, then a 16-year-old student who was also there.
That kid,
Yeah.
that kid, he's gonna be a star, whether he likes it or not.
Interrupted class. The director announced they would be taken to Russian-occupied Crimea for the next 2 weeks for a 2-week seaside break from the war. Oh, break!
That's fun.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
A little Rumspringer of his own.
They were loaded on buses bound for a summer camp on the Black Sea. Never trust a summer camp on the Black Sea.
never trust an invading country taking you to camp.
To summer camp.
Yeah,
camp.
any type of camp.
Good
It's
news.
Summer
We're going
camp.
to summer camp. You, Ukraine star. We go
Russia star.
We go summer camp now.
How do you get million views?
Well, Russia documented its re-education of children. So,
Re-education is another word that is never used well.
it always has another dubious
If you
meaning.
didn't get educated the first time, best stay away.
Oh, re-education's never good. You got a fucking gun to your temple when you get re-educated.
2 + 2 is.
I couldn't help noticing
4?
that you were educated in a bit of the wrong way. Well, here at summer camp, things are going to change.
We're gonna give that another shot.
Yeah.
It seems like you're real dumb.
You see, yeah. Social media posts and reports on the Russian-run TV channel in Kherson showed Denny's, his name's Denny's, handing out ribbons celebrating Russian military glory and attending lectures depicting Ukraine as historically Russian land. On February 24th, I assume this is 2023 now, the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion, Denny's stood draped in a Russian flag in a report on a state-run channel. Quote, "I want to serve in the army," he said. "I'm ready to serve the Russian Federation."
Is state-run media like state-run TikToks or state-run like TV?
I think it's TV. He was a TikTok star in Ukraine. Now he's a Russian state media
Now he's on
star.
TV.
That's great. That's even better.
Yeah, he made it to TV.
Yeah.
No, the problem
Every
is
TikTok star's dream is
the problem at TV.
I would love to be on TV.
He doesn't have creative freedoms on TV like he does on TikTok to do what he wants.
Yeah, the goddamn execs, the network execs.
God, they're
They're up
just
my
cutting
fucking
up
ass.
so many notes. I say I love Ukraine, and they go cross that out. What if we did this?
Well, he appeared in dozens more clips over the following months, praising the courage of the Russian army and pledging loyalty to Putin. In private, however, Danny's appeared torn. In text and audio messages, he boasted to his family about payouts he was getting, but told his relatives he missed them. He said, I ain't making bank here, but I miss you guys. Miss you guys. They just...
I hope everything's well over in Ukraine.
Yeah. How is it there?
I'm making bank.
Oh, Putin is the best. Putin is great. Russians will find victory.
Is that in the article?
Yeah, I'm reading directly from the article.
One of his classic songs.
Yeah, it's one of his classic songs.
Do you think his personality changed from the TikTok to the TV show? Like the TikTok, he really had like a life behind the eyes.
But now he's making bank.
He is making
Well, when he
bank.
spoke with his family, they discussed ways that he could leave, but he was afraid Russians wouldn't let him. Authorities had
Why?
stopped others who had tried.
Maybe he could pay them off.
They're paying him off. He can't pay them off when they're paying him off.
They give him the check, and he turns the check around and goes, "Now can I leave?" We already had that money.
Something happened, though. After ghosting his family for a little while,
The show was a hit.
the show was a hit.
Number one.
And suddenly, Dennis texted his family in Germany and said he'd had a change of heart and didn't want to leave.
Oh.
In an audio message, Denise said the Russians were giving him money, promising him a spot at the Moscow school,
Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule, and an apartment, a whole apartment. I don't want to go back. I don't want to. He shouted. He shouted in the voicemail. Yeah.
You called us.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine, son.
We're all dead.
Well, Denny's then changed his phone number.
Oh, wow.
And cut contact with his relatives. He took a Russian passport and made him eligible for conscription. He continued to film propaganda videos, and when he turned 18 in July, he launched an Instagram account. The big next step.
Wow.
He went TikTok to TV to Instagram.
Yeah, that's how they do things a little differently in Russia. In the fall, he moved to a town near Moscow. The tone darkened. In one selfie, he held a pellet gun to his neck.
Oh, God.
And earlier December, he posted images of a cityscape bathed in red and yellow light. My native Kherson, Denny's wrote in Russian, adding in Ukrainian, I yearn for you. Getting out. Chapter 4. Getting out.
Wait, so now he's getting out. He said no. He yelled, changed his phone number, moved near Moscow, and now
he wants out.
Well, the thing is, I mean, he's 18. He's hormonal.
He's hormonal.
He's
saying, I want to go home, and then he's going, screw you, Mom, I'm Russian now.
He was rebelling. That was his rebellious phase. Now
rebellious
he's
phase.
changed his tune. He wants to
changing
go
his
home,
tune.
and he misses his mother.
You know the thing with Russia is like we don't know a lot what goes on in Russia and everything.
That's true.
But there is a famous whistleblower that lives in Russia. You think he would just be telling people what's
Right.
going on?
You would think, but
He's real quiet, that guy.
Oh, they've got some guns to his head, too.
I'm
They
gonna
go, was it worth it?
Yeah, you would have went to minimum security prison here.
Yeah, you're not going to blow another fucking whistle again, buddy. 3 days later, he received a message in Ukrainian from an unknown member. It came from his brother, the first message in 7 months. When Miskim called, Denny's told him, I want to come home. And he opened up about what had happened over the past year.
Oh, wow.
In a phone conversation with the Wall Street Journal the next day, he told his story. Around 2 weeks after he had arrived in Henninchkinsk in January 2023, he said, an official came to his dorm and told him to step outside. Denny's stepped into the street and saw a white Toyota SUV, its back door open.
Didn't have to do sports utility vehicle for this article.
There wasn't enough room.
Yeah, there wasn't enough
This
room.
is a good story. These fucking meth heads.
A man with a holstered pistol told him to get inside. As they drove, the man and his driver flashed ID cards reading Moscow Directorate of Federal Security Service, or FSB. After a brief conversation, they dropped him off, handing him 500 rubles, the equivalent of $6.50. And saying they'd be in touch. What kind of payout is that?
That's
$6?
That's bang.
It's probably about as much as he's making on TikTok.
Mom, yeah, the payouts are great.
I'll tell you what, it goes a long way in Russia.
He goes, he gets in a car, the guy's got a gun, he's like, why don't you be a good little boy? Keep making those videos. Gives him $6 bill. Here's
Gee, thanks, mister.
Gee, thanks a mil. Thanks 6.
Don't spend it all in one. Oh, you already spent it?
Oh, it's gone. I actually need it back.
That was the borrow.
Several days later, his handlers told him to come to a local park and record a monologue about his time in the camp in Crimea. From then on, he said, quote, I became the main actor. So he was sent scripts to read and often outfits to wear. He's moving up the totem pole.
He's a star.
He's a star. He's a star. After returning to his college dormitory, Denny's couldn't sleep. Consumed by shame, he missed classes and couldn't bear to talk to relatives.
Outfits to wear is just a bunch of different colored tracksuits.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's just a bunch of different colored tracksuits.
Storm, yeah.
Wear green today.
I'm overcome with shame. Save Ukraine. This is a group that works to bring children out of Russia.
Save Ukraine.
To help kidnap
Ukrainian
children.
children?
Yes.
Okay. So the Russian children are screwed.
Yeah, there's fucked. Save Ukraine became working on a new plan to get Denny's out, relying on a clandestine network of volunteers. His Russian passport was valid only for former Soviet states still within the FSB's reach. He had changed his phone number and bank cards after moving to Moscow and thought the FSB was no longer tracking him, but he couldn't be sure. He had recently ignored a military summons from Russia. Denny's packed his things and waited for Save Ukraine's signal. Quote, my dream is coming true, he wrote in a text message to the Journal. I'm tired of living in solitude and deceit.
He invested that $6 and made bank.
He actually turned it into some really high-risk stocks. He turned it into like 10,000 rubles, which is about $29.
You remember GameStop?
I know GameStop.
That guy.
Power to the players.
Well, on February 6th, Denny's boarded an overnight train from Moscow to Minsk. The trip went
from
smoothly
Moscow to Minsk.
as Belarus and
Rochelle.
has no manned border with Russia. Yeah, shut the fuck up. It's so hard to read. After 2 days arranging emergency travel documents with help from Save Ukraine volunteer, he crossed foot into Poland. On February 11th, Denny's boarded a bus bound for Germany, but at the border at 3:30 a.m., he was taken off the bus and put in a police van and then held for questioning for 5 hours. German officials rejected his travel documents and left him in Poland. With a pouch carrying his Ukrainian travel passport, Russian travel document, Russian passport, German deportation order, and the equivalent of $50 in 4 currencies,
It's not bad.
Denny's arrived. That's better than
The exchange rate's where they get you, though.
He arrived at a town outside Warsaw the following evening with the help of Save Ukraine to stay with a Ukrainian family. Over soup and pancakes, Denny's told them the Russians aren't as bad as they are made out to be.
Hey, what did you eat? What did you eat? What did you eat? That's
Oh,
actually really
classic soup
important.
and pancakes.
Yeah. Well, they were running out of room, or they needed to.
I'm surprised you didn't have the Denny's Grand Slam breakfast.
There you go. Hey, it's Denny's. We know just what to make you.
And you?
How about a Grand Slam?
Oh, interesting. And you didn't drink anything with the soup and pancakes. Likely story, dude. I'm a Wall Street journalist.
So basically, he's stuck in Poland now with a Ukrainian family, and he can't get back to his family in Germany.
Wow.
How? Well, can't the German family go to Poland?
You don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. You'd think they would just come to him. Right?
They're not from Germany.
Right, they're Ukrainian.
Asked whether he felt this is the last
I don't think they like them.
little tidbit. Asked whether he felt Ukrainian or Russian at this point. He shrugged. I'm a lost soul.
I'm Polish.
I'm Polish now. Fuck it all. I'm Polish. How many Polish guys does it take to get back to?
How many Polish guys do they get to leave Poland?
He's like, well, I guess Poland's not so bad. And he walks in. They're like, we're having soup and pancakes. He goes, Jesus Christ. I should go back to Moscow.
Why is it only one bowl? The pancakes are in the soup.
You want soup and pancakes again? Lady, it's soup and pancakes every night here. I'm losing my fucking mind.
Lady.
Dipping pancakes in soup. I'm pouring soup on pancakes. I can't.
How?
I used to be a TikTok star.
I used to be a fucking star.
I was a TikTok regular, a Russian star. And then an Instagram somewhat.
Yeah. Now I'm a fucking Polish nobody.
He's a Polish nobody.
Back to the bottom.
So, best of luck to Denny's. Again, friend of the show. Welcome anytime.
Friend of the
So
show,
if everyone
welcome
wants to do the podcast, tell us his story. We're more than happy to have him.
Yeah.
How bad is Russia that they just can't keep track of the star that they have?
I know. How do they let him slip away?
Where'd our star go?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It must be so hard to slip away.
He was performing for 3 months. We thought we had him.
Where is he? Also, it seems like they could just send another bus into Poland and grab his ass and take him right back.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop him?
Poland?
Yeah, Poland.
But maybe his star was fading. Maybe they found another guy who was better.
Oh, yeah.
The new
He's
star,
old news.
Star is born.
Denny's is old news.
Denise is old news.
Well, he's 18 now. He's aged out.
He's aged
Yeah.
out.
He's aged out of
not
TikTok
exactly
stardom.
The demographic.
Now they got Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, I
He's
guess
like,
Russia's
Putin will
great.
prevail.
We had 2 very different Timothy Chalamets going on.
I'm doing the more Wonka Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet.
He's Dune.
I'm a Dune Chalamet
Yeah.
guy. I always have been.
Big Wonka head. I love Tim and Wonka.
Tell me about a Wonka. You can't.
Tim's got to be my favorite Wonka. A guy named Tim playing Willy Wonka.
I did the research.
I watched all 3.
Chalamet Wonka is different.
That has been another episode of Echo Chamber Podcast. Now, Joe Bates, friend of the
Hi.
show, welcome anytime. Anything you'd like
Can I
to
be
plug?
here next week?
Sure.
Why not? Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Come back
Friend of the
next
show, welcome anytime.
I can't do next week.
Okay, next week's not going to work for us.
Well, is there something you want to plug next? For
Oh,
next?
yeah, I'll plug. Instagram, that's at Joe Bates Comedy. But if you like podcasts, and clearly you do, I believe you guys have 300 listeners an episode.
300 listeners per minute per episode. So
Okay, yeah. So those 300 listeners per minute per episode may want to listen to other podcasts. My wife and I have a podcast called This Is a Good Movie Podcast, where we make one watch a movie we saw when we were a kid that they've never seen before.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fun.
That is a fun idea.
Then they determine if this is a good movie. Our best episode, I think, is RoboCop.
RoboCop.
And that's one I assume that you liked and you made her watch.
Oh, yeah, I made her watch.
Why did you say that, Joe?
Sexism.
Yeah.
But what if sexism's true? Yeah, that's good. And then another one, Entertainment Federation Wrestling, which Trent really likes, was a podcast. The season 1 has been out there, all there. It's me and 2 other people, Kale Force and Austin Fry, as wrestling announcers for a fake wrestling promotion.
fun.
And we make like all the sounds, and it sounds like you're actually at a wrestling.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Check out both of Joe's podcasts. Follow him on Instagram. And don't forget to like and subscribe, rate,
Share
review,
the podcast,
all that
comment.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, all that good shit.
Yeah.
As always, this is Joe
I'm Joe.
Signing out.
I'm Joe, and I'm signing out.
Oh, and I'm Trent, signing off. Bye-bye.